I'm attempting to continue where we left off here because it would be pretty awesome for a part 2 video. But I'm assuming I'm going to die and not really have good respawns, but maybe not. NC does have a bit of pop here now, so let's check it out. This is the very top of the base, as you can expect. Giant Interlink satellite. And like I said, Light Assault has a ton of great options at this base. Among others, even ItZMuRdA, you've started to see the changes be very favor Light Assault very well. And you'll notice, like I said, here's these bridges. This one's Vanny, so I would just fall right through it, but I can obviously use Light Assault to keep myself up. These are the bridges that you need to get to the C point. You can come at them from down there. And you see we have some friendlies over at C. Again, this is the spawn room. I feel like there's just so many angles, so you're not going to get the typical biolab meat grinder. Oh, that's a max that I don't really care to deal with. You're not going to get the typical biolab meat grinder or anything like that, but you're still going to have an awesome infantry fight and a bunch of different approaches and angles that you can take. This is moving down to the central part where these terminals are at, and I guess we're fighting at the moment, I don't know. Apologies for that. But these are, that's an equipment terminal, these are the bridge terminals that you can actually hold down like you're an infiltrator hacking them. You don't have to be an infiltrator. I'm not sure if infiltrator certs would make it faster. It would be kind of cool if it did. And then now it's an NC bridge. You can also toggle it to neutral if you hit your button on it. At least it was working yesterday. And it would toggle it to golden color, which any Empire could cross. I'm not sure exactly the point of that. Anyway, I love it out here as well, because I think it's a really awesome spot for, again, peeking down into where the gens are at and stuff like that, where people are going to be fighting at, and you can see a peek into basically my favorite room, this giant room with a ton of infantry cover, walls and low walls and boxes to hide behind and jump over and shoot over and stuff like that. And like I said, you pretty much have access to the entire thing from up here as well. If I go down in there, I might die because there's a Zoe Max among other things. But you can get an idea for what it's like. You got some infantry fight going on down here. You've got these small areas for cover. You got Light Assault to go, over things. These hallways lead down to the SCU once those gens are down for the shield. And then in the very middle, I thought this was pretty interesting. I think this is all just for cosmetics, but you can actually move through this and fly through it. Now I'm up by the terminals that I was before, and then you can take that a step further and go way up here if you're Light Assault, or likewise go down with it, which I thought was pretty awesome. So I think I'm going to be playing Light Assault a whole lot more. If you know anything about me and how I play right now, I don't really favor fights at bases. I don't fight at biolabs or amp stations or tech plants all that much. It has to be like the right medium-sized defensive fight for me to really care about fighting there over like a tower defense, for instance. So I'm actually really pumped about this base because it basically takes, I think, everything good about the current bases, the amp stations and the biolabs and the tech plants, and puts all of those strengths into one base. You've got like the outside feel of both a tech plant on the east and west sides and an amp station on the north and south sides, and then the inside feel of a biolab made that much better. It doesn't have the choke points at the air pads for biolabs or at the spawn spawn room teleport shield rooms. It's got a ton of entrances and exits and wide open spaces to fight, and still get that indoor combat that you don't really feel like you're crammed into one meat grinder or bottleneck or something like that. So this is essentially the tunnel, passageway, whatever, from the spawn room, which is what I was over there looking at, or excuse me, the teleport room, which I believe you can get to directly from the spawn room, where it has things like aircraft terminals and stuff like that. And again, you'll see this is really reminiscent of PlanetSide 1 Interlink Facilities for me, like rooms like this. I think this is awesome, the gen room where you've got the tunnel coming from the main base for some pretty awesome fighting. Again, wide berth on the doorways and the hallways and stuff like that. Even through this reminds me of like the back basement of spawn rooms in PlanetSide 1. You've got contiguous tunnels and rooms that are, you know, completely shielded from the outside, which I think is perfect to have a balance of this outdoor combat. And then once you're inside the base, you're inside the base, and you're doing some infantry combat that actually makes sense. Like I said, I've been saying since beta that the one thing that I'm missing most from PlanetSide 1 and PlanetSide 2 is the feel of the bases that I got, where, you know, we would fight for a base, we'd finally, you know, capture a courtyard, essentially, and we'd be inside the base, or if I'm defending the enemy, would be inside the base, and you would have that awesome indoors fight where there was no more vehicles anymore, and there was a place for that in the game, and it still kept its combined arms feel. But there was a place for some really fun indoor fighting, and I think Interlink Facilities are going to bring that back, and I hope to see it go in this direction in the future. So we're back over here again. I'm going to take a look at the B point side of the base. B and A are more or less symmetrical or mirrored, at least the same general idea. Looks like there's some floating geometry here that I can't exactly get through. See if we can't fly over it. Okay. So this is kind of an outdoorsy, ItZMuRdA-ish type of base feel to it. And again, you can fight down below, which I thought was pretty awesome. Hopefully those are outside. In some really wide open spaces down here. Some parking garage stuff going on, essentially. I actually saw a rendering of this that somebody did, and now I understand what I was looking at in the rendering. Up here you've got, again, just the tops of the bases, but I love that it's not just the simple buildings that we're used to. Well, that guy was following me apparently. But see if we might have any, no, we don't actually have any spawns, so I'm not sure exactly what to do with that. We can see if there is somebody to drop on, and there is. Fortunately, he's way out there, but I can jump in as an infill. Hey, there's another loading screen for you. Here's the new modified drop pods for you. Look, we're testing everything. That's a harasser that looks like it's going to be bad news. So here's down bottom. Actually, this is actually helpful that we went out here, because you get some of the feel of the new outdoorsy spots as well. Should have grabbed a blitz instead, but oh well. Don't really want to get involved in the main fight over here, and now that I don't have jump jets, it's a little bit more complicated. But again, here's that tunnel that I was looking down earlier. There's the B point that we were over at, but I think we've mostly covered the general feel of the base. Again, here's another approach where you can come in from the north and the south into the main room that I was talking about. There goes down to the gen room. Here's the middle area room. This is the pathway that goes over to the spawn room, which is basically mirrored on the other side with the room with all the terms and stuff. That's the spawn room inside there. And then over here, obviously, you can have this approach. This is your typical spawn room, I guess, in most cases. But I think that pretty much shows everything. I don't know what's going on with this prowler. There's a few puddles where you can actually go like knee height in and things like that. Good thing I didn't go that direction. There's not actual water yet, unfortunately, which is the main thing I think that this is missing. But there is a puddle you can actually submerge yourself in outside the base somewhere. One of these puddles might be the one over this wall, actually. But it doesn't really do much of anything for you. Nonetheless, I like it as a touch. This is like kind of the A point, the north side of the base, and the entire underground fighting area of it. I'm assuming the guy was chasing me, but perhaps he didn't see me. So I'm not light assault, unfortunately, but maybe I can go up here for you guys just to give another little look. These I keep getting thrown off by this one being the up instead of the other one. So this is kind of the tower overlooking the A point. And again, you've got like a similar like ItZMuRdA outpost type of feel to this side of the base. These jump pads I can't take. It would go over to there if I was defending the base and had the ownership of it. But that pretty much covers the basics as well as I can without just dying to people, because there is actually a lot of people fighting here, even though it's 8 a.m. Eastern at the moment. So I think it's pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really excited about it, and I hope you guys are too. This really just brings a great dynamic to the base. As Vonik was saying when I was talking to him the other day, it feels like it's the first base that's really designed to hold a lot more people at the same time comfortably, without getting to that point in current biolabs where you've just got a million guys all at one of the air pads or camping one of the spawn shields or anything like that. It really feels like it's going to accommodate fights quite well, and I'm not a huge fan of when we get too many dudes in the same place, so hopefully Interlink Facilities will help handle that nicely, and I can still feel like I have a fight where individual player skill matters, and we have a lot of fun at the same time. So really pumped about this stuff. Go and check it out on the public test, and let me know what you guys think. I haven't heard a single person so far say that they were unhappy with anything, though. I think both the Interlink and Hossin itself look absolutely amazing. I'm really excited about them, and even much more excited than I was originally. You know, when I heard a new continent, that's great, I was excited about it, but now I'm like super excited about it, and even that much more excited to see what they have to offer with the Nexus and Cirrus and future continents and battle islands and things like that. So stay tuned to SOE Live this weekend over at the official channels, and stay tuned to my stream, again at ItZMuRdA.com or twitch.tv/ItZMuRdA_TV. And be sure to watch part 1 of this video if you haven't, if you wanted to see the overall view, flyby essentially of all of Hossin. And thanks for tuning in, guys. I had a lot of fun, and hopefully you will too. And I'm sure I'll be streaming some more Hossin on the stream as well. So thank you all for the support and the follows on the stream. If you haven't, I encourage you to do so. I really appreciate it. And like I said in video 1, I do stream every day, PlanetSide too. So come hang out with me. Appreciate all the support and the follows there, and on Twitter and on YouTube, same handle, ItZMuRdA. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you're as excited as I am. We'll see you on Hossin hopefully in the not so distant future. Take care, guys. Have a good one.